Hey guys, First Regardsman here, and today I'll be talking about every single class for Space Marine 2's Hard Siege mode on patch 8.1 and tier listing them. Now in patch 8.0, I did make a tier list for all these guys already, but since then I have reached Wave 32 Hard Siege Duo and Wave 38 Hard Siege Trio, and my opinion has changed a little bit of some of their placements because of that, so we're going to make a whole new list here, starting off with the Sniper class. Now Sniper is a strong pick for Siege mode. Squad Renewal is a great team perk, and it's pretty much like his only team perk that's viable in Siege mode for this class anyways. All those other ones kind of suck. And this class has a great cloak ability in general for getting people up and also buying things from the requisition terminal late game. And buying stuff for like every other class is basically impossible at a certain point because there are simply too many Terminus and Extremis level enemies that will knock you around. Very good for that reason. His Purification Emperor's Grace combo is also excellent for survivability, and his ammo economy is great with perks like Versatile Precision. And ammo economy in the Siege mode especially is very, very important because it saves you on requisition points, and saving on requisition points will allow you to buy things like Astartes reinforcements, which are super S tier, and stuff like the Dreadnought. So really good for that. The main problem he has is that his main horde clear comes from Melt-A-Bomb spam, and that's pretty good, but every other class can already do that, like a tactical on their team, secure stockpile, and 30-second Melt-A-Bombs are strong, but there does come a point in like Siege mode wave 30 plus that all the snipers breakpoints do just fall off entirely. And even the Melt-A-Bomb kind of falls off at a certain point where like it doesn't even one-shot guys anymore. So for that reason, I'll probably put him in A. He is strong. His boss damage versus Neurothreats especially is very good, but like he's not very good at like killing melee bosses like the Hellbrute or Carnifex. He's pretty mediocre for that, if not outright bad at times. And like most of his boss damage comes from like a block knife and tactical ambush. So I just put him in A for now. He's not a bad class by any means, just not quite S. Next class here is the Assault class. Assault is a much maligned class in this game by me and others. He is by far the worst class for pushing the highest waves at Siege. He outright sucks at times versus like Chaos post wave 25. And if you were trying to get to like the highest waves possible, I would never take him for Siege mode whatsoever. And the only reason I won't put him in F is because if you're trying to just get to 25, he can definitely do that. He might struggle at times, but like he's not totally unusable. It's just like post wave 25 when their damage reduction gets absolutely insane, he just falls off entirely. The heavy bolt pistol is basically like shooting pellets at enemies at that point, and plasma pistol is basically the only way to go, and his ammo economy sucks entirely. He has 0 ammo regen perks, and ammo regen is very important in this mode for the reasons I stated previously, so he kind of goes into D. He needs serious buffs. He's just not very strong right now at all. He does have good Nova damage, but like that also falls off, and he's a class that basically has to live from like breakpoint to breakpoint, and if you can no longer like one-shot execute guys, he just falls off, and that's why he goes into D here, because he's just the worst class to push the higher waves, and he will never push as high as any other class comps here ever. That's just the unfortunate truth currently. Now next class here is Vanguard. Vanguard might be the most overrated class in Space Marine 2. He has 2 god tier team perks with Inner Fire and Unmasked Zeal, and the Unmasked Zeal is very good for pubs because a global heal just requires like 0 coordination, so he's very strong for that. Unfortunately, his damage is kind of pathetic compared to Bulwark. Bulwark has better damage than him than like the Vanguard could pretty much ever dream of having because of the Power Fist, and Bulwark has a significantly higher team impact overall, especially in a coordinated team with Invigorating Icon, because Invigorating Icon is really all the healing you will ever need in a team if like they're actually coordinated and know what they're doing. So Vanguard, pretty good for pubs, not as good in like a proper team comp, and I probably put him in low A. I will say he is quite strong with Inner Fire at times. You have like a Bulwark on your team as well, because banner spamming is super strong with Purity of Purpose. It's just that the best horde clear the Vanguard here has is with his like Zone of Impact Tactical Prowess perk combo, and those do kind of fall off at a certain point. Zone of Impact does have damage fall off now, where it used to have none because they nerfed it a little bit, on top of the fact that Tactical Prowess and Zone of Impact like to bug out a lot, and if you're left without a grapple at all, you're just kind of fucked at a certain point. So this class, not too weak. I would put him in very low A. I might even put him in B. It's where I put him before, but I could see the argument for like Inner Fire being very strong. So I actually think Inner Fire is stronger than the Unmasked Zeal like coordinated team currently. Next class here is Heavy. Heavy is S tier, and like it's not even like a question. Heavy is the most damaging class in this entire game. There is no class in Space Marine 2 that will ever put out as much damage as the Heavy. It just does not exist. He has the best guns in the whole game. He is absurdly tanky with perks like Fortitude, even like 20% health damage reduction on Iron Halo deactivation, on top of Conviction, on top of a ton of armor restoration. If you stack him with like a Bulwark and a Tactical, his damage becomes properly absurd, and it's already incredible. This guy has gone to the highest highest waves of Siege Mode true solo in both the PTS and the live game, because he's just that guy. Straben is an incredibly powerful class. He's not even like a class, really. He's just the guy. He is the Timothy Timothy of Space Marine 2. There is no class that's better for soloing than this guy, because he just does everything. He has absurd tankiness, absurd damage, absurd team impact of things like Encompassing Aegis, because he basically gives like his super powerful range damage reduction to his entire team. Very, very strong. Multi-Melta and Heavy Plasma are the two best guns in this entire game, and Heavy Plasma is like one of the only guns in the entire game of Space Marine 2 does not fall off like post-Wave 30 Chaos and post-Wave 30 Tyranids. And really, the Iron Halo is one of the only perks in the entire game or class abilities that allows you to actually play your class. So this guy, very, very strong on the highest waves of Siege. Super powerful class in general. Really, he's just been winning ever since launch. Very strong. S tier, probably the best class in the whole game. Next class we have here is Tactical. Tactical is the greatest enabler for damage in this whole game. When you take Precise Calibration plus Concentrated Fire, this guy, or like Concentrated Zone, whichever one is like the place him down for 120% bonus damage and 60% increased duration on the Auspex scan, he does absurd damage with his team. He is amazing Secure Stockpile. Secure Stockpile alone is enough reason to take the Tactical on your team every single time, because getting back grenades on a 60-second cooldown is flat out busted in this game. It is like the best team perk overall by far. It comes out to like 500 plus Melta Bombs like over the course of a game. Incredibly powerful. He is without a doubt S tier, really always has been. They did nerf his battle focus perk, but it doesn't really matter, because this guy is really just meant to be nuking bosses with Auspex at heavy, because that's what he's best at. And nuking bosses is like the single most important thing you could ever do in Siege Mode, because bosses are the single most dangerous thing in Siege Mode currently, and he's S tier for that reason. And no class can like properly enable your heavy like this guy can, and he really is just like an S tier pick for any comp. Next perk here, or excuse me, next class here is the Bulwark. Now, Bulwark is very strong. He is the strongest melee class by far. He is far better than both the Assault and Vanguard. Neither of these classes will ever properly output the damage he can on top of his damage reduction, because the thing the Bulwark brings to the table is he has coordinated healing with a banner. Purity of Purpose on his banner does insane horde clear, insane boss damage. You can literally walk into a boss's face at like wave 35, block with your shield to get your shield back off of like Masterful Defense, and just sit there and hold them there for an Auspex on top of your heavy blasting them. He has incredible team impact with Focus Restoration as his team perk, which gives armor to your team every 30 seconds. It's like 3 armor per 30 seconds for your whole team, 6 armor per like minute, on top of having like what 90 plus armor boost effectively for each individual squad member over the course of like a 3-hour game. Insane team impact. Rejuvenating Effect is also one of the best ways to actually get your teammates up in the late game. Crazy good with cooldown from Conversion Field, and also really benefits off of the Secure Stockpile, especially because like one of the main downsides of Bulwark is that he does not have any equipment recharge of his own. But if you have a Tactical on your team, that goes away with Secure Stockpile entirely. Very, very strong class. And also the Power Fist is just the strongest melee weapon by far, and like Assault, Sniper, and honestly Assault and Vanguard especially can never hope to ever reach the damage of a good Bulwark in this game. They will never push as high as this class can by itself, because he's just that strong. His boss damage is the best of any melee class outside like an Assault with like his overcharged fist, but Assault will die way before the Bulwark can. And this guy is almost always the last guy alive. He can get his CDR back with Masterful Defense. He also has perks like Conviction, Steel Within, and Scramble Targeting to give him like absurd damage reduction. He's one of the only classes that can like properly charge a fist post like wave 30, because he just has that much HP, and you can kind of sit at like 20% HP with him casually. So he just goes to S. These are the 3 best classes in this game, and they have gone to the highest wave of Siege ever, which is 38 currently. And Bulwark, Tactical, Heavy is just the best team comp as well. So of course they'll go into S tier, because they just have the greatest impact and greatest synergy, because these guys really complement any team comp in this game. Sniper and Vanguard are also strong picks. I would like to try out like Vanguard in place of Bulwark or Tactical at some point here. I know that putting Vanguard in like A or B is always like kind of controversial, but Vanguard is strong. He's just not as strong as people think he is, because his ammo economy sucks, and the Bolt Carbine is his best weapon, and it falls off super hard. And like the Melta Rifle is actually trash at a certain point, because there are so many enraged enemies in Siege Mode that the stagger the Melta crutches on falls off entirely. Hell, even like post wave 35, the multi-Melta falls off, and the Heavy Plasma is just significantly better. So like this guy's gonna be eating into your requisition points. He kind of just becomes like a heal bot or a CDR bot at a certain point. And if Zone of Impact was not so buggy, I probably could like see an argument to put him like high A, but for now Vanguard is just not that strong currently to push the highest waves of Siege, because he just doesn't have the damage, and Bulwark does, and Bulwark also just has better team perks for like survivability, and survivability does become like a huge problem in the highest phase of Siege as well. So that's why Vanguard is in a low A, because he's very strong in pubs. Unmaziel is very powerful. It's just not that powerful in a coordinated team compared to the other options. That's what all there is to it. So if you guys like this content, subscribe for more, and that's all I really have to say in this one. I don't think anyone's going to think that like Assault's a controversial placement in D, because he does just kind of suck right now, and really this guy just needs some serious buffs, and hopefully we see that in patch 9.0. I also like to see bug fixes for the Vanguard class in patch 9.0, and maybe like some better breakpoints for some of the other classes in this game. But for now, that's all I have to say in this video, and as always, thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Peace.